In this video, we want to learn how we can find the vertical asymptotes of trigonometric functions. Before we start, let me remind you that we are finding vertical asymptotes mostly for rational functions. Functions like this, 3x plus 1 over x to the 2 minus 4, for example. This is a rational function. Rational function is a function that the numerator and denominator are polynomials. And for finding the vertical asymptotes, simply we have to set the denominator equal 0. And from solving this equation, we get x equal 2 and x equal negative 2. These two vertical lines are the vertical asymptotes. These are vertical asymptotes of that function. Basically, these are potential vertical asymptotes. We can prove that these are really vertical asymptotes. Sometimes not every number that makes the denominator 0 is vertical asymptotes. Only by setting the denominator equal 0, we can find the potential vertical asymptotes of rational functions. But in this video, our focus is in trigonometric functions. First of all, let me tell you something about sine and cosine functions, sine x and cosine x. These are two important trigonometric ratios, trigonometric functions. Sine x and cosine x, these two trigonometric functions, they don't have any vertical asymptote. So, for both of these functions, we have no vertical asymptote. If you remember graph of these functions, the graph of them is like a wave. It goes up and down. As you can see, they don't have vertical asymptotes. When we talk about the vertical asymptotes of trigonometric function, we talk about tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. For example, let us start with function tangent x. Why this function has vertical asymptote? Because if you remember definition of tangent, or if you remember this identity from trigonometry, always we can write tangent as sine over cosine. Now as you can see, this is like a fraction. We have a denominator. This is like a rational function. How we find the vertical asymptote for these functions? Set denominator equal 0. So you have to do same thing here. For finding the vertical asymptote of tangent x, write tangent as sine over cosine. Now simply set the denominator equal 0. Now you have to know, you need this knowledge from trigonometry, that when cosine is equal to 0. If you remember simply the unit circle, cosine is 0 here and here. What is this angle? Pi over 2. And what is the other angle? 3 pi over 2. So cosine x equals 0 at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. So we can say the vertical asymptote for tangent x is x equals pi over 2 and x equals 3 pi over 2. But for now, let me just write pi over 2. Then I'll explain why I didn't write the other one. X equals pi over 2 is one of the vertical asymptotes of tangent x. Let me draw the tangent x here. This is the graph of tangent x. Actually, it's part of the graph of tangent x. I will complete it in a moment. And here is pi over 2. As you can see, pi over 2 is vertical asymptote for tangent x. But actually, we have one vertical asymptote here. What is that? Can you guess? It is negative pi over 2. But as I mentioned, this is only part of the graph of tangent x. Remember, all the trigonometric functions are periodic. So we have this here, we have also this here, and this repeats forever. What is this line here? 3 pi over 2. Do you remember here was 3 pi over 2? This shows the other vertical asymptote. But also 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over 2, 9 pi over 2, and so on are asymptotes, vertical asymptotes, and also negative pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2. And all of these vertical lines are vertical asymptotes, negative 3 pi over 2, and so on. So basically, tangent x has infinite vertical asymptotes. But here, we only find, here, we wrote only one of the vertical asymptotes. But basically, this function has infinite vertical asymptotes. You can, if you solve this equation, and you write not only this single particular solution, if you write the general solution of this equation, the general solution of this equation is x equals n pi plus pi over 2, which here n can be any integer number, positive or negative. For example, if you plug in 1 here for n, 1 pi plus pi over 2 would be 3 pi over 2. If you plug in 2 for n, 2 pi plus pi over 2 would be 5 pi over 2. If you plug in 3, 7 pi over 2, and so on. So, by writing the general asymptote equation in this way, we can find all the general asymptotes. Always you can find all the general asymptotes, but you have to solve this equation and write the answer, the general solution of the equation. By adding n pi, you can find the other vertical asymptotes. So let's review the process of finding the vertical asymptotes. Simply set the denominator equals 0. Then after that, the story is not an asymptote. The story is solving this equation, which sometimes, of course, can be a little challenging. Let me show you another question. Now let's say we want to find the vertical asymptotes for function cosecant x. If you remember from trigonometry, cosecant is 1 over sine x. It's the reciprocal of sine. So, because it's a fraction, again, it can have vertical asymptotes. For finding the vertical asymptote, you have to set sine x equal 0. And if you remember again from unit circle, where is the point, or what is the angles that sine is 0? Here and here. This angle here is 0, here is pi. But the better way for finding the answer is maybe to remember graph of sine x. This was graph of sine x. As you can see here, this point, this point, this point, all of these points, the sine is 0. This one is 0, here is pi, here is 2 pi, here is negative pi. So if you want to find just one important vertical asymptote, it would be x equals 0. So x equals 0 is the vertical asymptote for cosecant x, or 1 over sine x. But if we want to write all the vertical asymptotes of this function, we have to consider all of these points. And the answer would be x equal n pi. Why I wrote the answer in this form? Here is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, negative 2 pi. If we want to write all of them as an equation, we can write them as n pi, which in this equation, n, it can be any integer number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So, again, cosecant x has infinite vertical asymptote. And the reason that we are finding the vertical asymptotes of trigonometric functions is that the knowledge about the vertical asymptotes can be very helpful for the sketching of the graph of the functions. So it's important to be able to find the vertical asymptotes. Look at this function. y equals 2 plus sine x over 1 plus cosine x. For finding the vertical asymptote, we have to set 1 plus cosine x equals 0. From here, cosine x equals negative 1. Now we have to find the angles that the cosine of those angles is negative 1. Again, look at the unit circle. Where is the angle? What is the angle that cosine is negative 1? That angle is pi. But again, if you say x equals pi is the vertical asymptote, that is right. X equals pi is the vertical asymptote for this function. But we know that it can have infinite vertical asymptote. So maybe again, graphing or finding the general solution would be better. But here in this video, we don't want to talk about solving equations involving trigonometric functions. So I'm not going to explain how really you have to find the general solution of these type of equations. But if you remember graph of cosine x starts from 1, it goes up and down like this. Here is pi, which as you can see the cosine is negative 1. But also at negative pi, here is negative pi. And if you continue this at 3 pi, 5 pi, negative 3 pi, also cosine is negative 1. So if you want to write all of these answers in one single equation, we can write x equals, is it right to say x equals n pi? No, because if you write it this way, n can be 1, 2, but 2 pi is not vertical. Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, and so on. So you have to mention n should be odd, like 1 pi, 3 pi, 5 pi. But saying it this way, that x equals n pi and n is odd, is not a good way of writing the answer. So how we can fix this? 2n minus 1 or 2n plus 1. It's completely up to you. 2n minus 1 or 2n plus 1 times pi. And in this equation, n can be any integer number, like 1, 2, 3. If we plug in any 1, 2, 3, 0 in this equation, the result of this would generate all of these numbers. So this function has infinite asymptotes. These are the asymptotes of that function. And again, I forgot to write, n can be in this equation any integer number. N belongs to integer numbers. I hope by watching this video you have learned how to find the vertical asymptotes of trigonometric functions. And don't forget the sine x and cosine x, they don't have any vertical asymptotes. Sine x and cosine x do not have vertical asymptotes. But tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, they have, because we can write them in fraction form. And by setting the denominator equals 0, we can simply find the vertical asymptotes of trigonometric functions. I hope you liked this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe in my channel and see you in the next videos.